Hello everybody, my name is Mike and I love computers. This is my first video on YouTube. Some of you may ask me, hey Mike, this is your first video about computers on YouTube and you are showing us a 20-old years computer? Why? I mean, yeah, it's cool, it's running Windows XP, but why are you showing it to us? Well, because it has a story. This is not just any 20 years old computer. This is my computer from 20 years ago. And it has a story that apparently never ends. I went to pick it up from my mother's house 2 months ago, I guess. Yeah, about mid-September. And I ended up picking up the computer, saving a life, and thinking about changing my life. If you, like me, love computers and a great story, stay tuned and you'll hear everything about it. I get a phone call from my mother and she's like, hey, you know when you left our home like 20 years ago? Like, yeah? You left the computer behind. Can I throw it away? And I was like, what? No! How can you throw it away? It's my gaming computer from back then. And I will still remember that I had a very, very rare GPU inside. I will show it to you later. Probably a prototype version or some engineering sample because of a few quirks. Let's tell them quirks that it has. So, my mother is like, come on, pick it up or I will throw it away. And I was like, yeah, I will, one of these days. And I didn't go. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. My mother calls me again. Hey, come pick that old junk computer up. I'm gonna throw it away. Okay. And 1 day of September, I'm going to my mother to pick up the PC, you know. And I hear some little kids talking about something, laughing. They were like grouping on something on the sidewalk. And I'm like, what's happening, you know? And I go look, and guess what? There was on the sidewalk a little kitty cat, a little kitten, a newborn kitten, like this big, probably had 1 day, 2 days, I don't know. It was certainly a newborn. And all the kids were, oh look, little cat, and they were starting to pet him and stuff, but you can imagine that he was basically almost dead. And I was like, okay, what are we going to do? Well, I took it home and I nursed it for like 2.5 months. And now he's a beauty. I'm telling you, he's a beauty because he's a boy. He's my little boy. I'm going to show it to you. But now, let's talk about the computer. I will show you the GPU, the configuration. We're going to go through the Windows XP install process. We're going to play some games. We are going to overclock it, play some games again, run some benchmarks, and we'll draw some conclusions. So, stay tuned if you like this kind of content. We did it, we are on the desktop. Good old Windows XP up and running. Oh, we're going to have so much fun with this one. Okay, let's install some stuff. So, back in the days when I was installing Windows XP, and believe me, it was pretty frequent. I always wanted to have a fresh installation. If it crashed on me a few times, just reinstall it from scratch. So, one of the first settings I would make, I guess it was Windows 98 reminiscent back in the days. Icons on the desktop. I want icons on my desktop. Okay, so this, and this checked. I have some drivers here. So, first is first. Okay. The AGP driver. You know, 20 years ago, you couldn't just go on and install your graphics card, you know. You had to install the driver for the port in which we were inserting the card. Oh, good old days. Okay, let's install this. After everything that you installed back in the day, you need a restart. Everything just needed restart after restart after restart. And there were situations when after 20 restarts and everything seemed to be installed perfectly, it would just crash on you, you know. But I guess we were not in such a hurry back then. Okay, now I want to install the graphic driver. It seems pretty responsive, I mean, and the reboot time is not that bad, you know. I remember this being slower than this. And I mean, I'm not running on an SSD or modern storage. I'm running on an IDE hard drive. I tested the hard drive before using it and it was giving me like 35-40 megabytes on average for the read and write combined. So, well, I guess it's enough for Windows XP. Okay. Let's install the driver for the video card. And now the GPU situation in this computer. Well, back in the day, like today, I was kind of, you know, an underdog fan. I didn't like mainstream products and I always searched, you know, like Intel GPUs are today. This was the Intel GPU of its day, you know. There were ATI and Nvidia's GPUs, a few other companies that they were trying, and here it comes SIS, which was an established manufacturer, but these were their first 3D, I know, complete 3D accelerator with full direct X9 support. So yeah, I guess it was something back in the day. It has 128 megs of DDR3. DDR3? No, DDR1. Yeah, I forgot how back in the days we're going. Yeah, 128 megs of DDR1. And the thing that makes me think that this is some kind of a prototype card, I remember getting it from not so official channels back in the day. And I couldn't find this design anywhere. This cooler, it's some kind of glue to the core of the video card. There is no hardware mounting system. There are holes, but nothing is in there. So it's basically, I don't know, glued to the GPU. I would have liked to be able to change the thermal paste, but I don't want to force it. I don't want to break it, and I don't know what this guy won't come off. I don't know. And I guess for a consumer card, not being able to take this down, I don't know. I guess it's some kind of early release, engineering release, you know, something like this. But however, it's a very rare card, and back in the days, nobody knew about it. I mean, nowadays, when Intel launched their Arc GPUs lineup, there were massive publicity and stuff, and people knew about them right away. Back in the days, you know, it was hard to market something like this. I don't know how I found about it, but after I found about it, I basically pulled some strings and got one. And I was so proud. because everybody, had NVIDIA GPUs and AMD GPUs, and I had something else, something different. And it had a digital video output, which for that day was something, and a composite output. I remember using this card to watch movies with my family on the living room TV. I had it wired, the computer was back in my room, and I had wired an Ethernet cable with the proper plugs for the TV and the GPU, and we were basically starting the movie on the computer and go watch it on the TV in the other room. Yeah, memories. Okay, graphic drivers installed. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can get this to run at its native resolution. This is the native resolution of the monitor. Apply. Okay. Looks pretty sharp. Yeah. This is cool. Okay. More drivers. We need the sound card driver now. Okay. I mean, it's pretty fast and pretty responsive. I remember this era of PCs, they're being sluggish and I don't know. I was thinking that after using modern computers, this would seem like unusable. But it's usable. It doesn't crash. It doesn't overheat. It's pretty fairly silent. Interesting. Interesting. This is definitely not how I remembered this computer. Let's try Google. Well, yeah, it works. Let's try YouTube. Probably won't work, but let's try it anyway. Yeah, go figure. It's doing something. Well, yeah, it's not working. Of course not working. Maybe on Opera it can work, but Opera requires an x64 processor. Opera cannot be run on this machine. We are loading. Okay, accept all. I don't believe it's going to load it, but come on. Fingers crossed, YouTube on 20 years old hardware. Yeah, probably won't work. Nope, it's not going to work. Still loading? Come on. Come on, old guy, come on. Alright. It's loading. Let's see the CPU. Oh, I guess this is the bottlenecking factor, not really the OS. The CPU is at 100% and it's loading! We have YouTube. We have YouTube on 20 years old hardware, and don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look that bad. Well, yeah. Continue. I don't know. Stop script, continue. I guess this is as far as we can go. Let's check the CPU usage again. 100%, doing nothing. Okay. The RAM situation, well, yeah, we have 500 and 600 megs. Well, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, the whole memory is like 768 megabytes or 784 or something. 700 something. But look at the CPU usage. It's unbelievable. It's 100%. Well, unbelievable. I'm exaggerating. I mean, what can you expect? Okay. Can we scroll? Can we scroll? Yeah. Huh. Interesting. We can scroll somehow. Yeah, look, it's loading. Oh my god, it's loading. Yeah, still 100%. Maybe overclocking it? We're to definitely overclock this one later. We are going to definitely overclock it later. Interesting, yeah. %. This poor single core CPU. Oh my god, oh my god. Look at it, I mean, it's 100% flat. It's like a modern day Celeron. Okay, yeah, well, this is too much for this little single core CPU.